Guilty as charged. The jury found that Keith Overholt went on a 7-hour violent spree with the intent to kill random people in the streets of Hamilton. But as with any trial by jury, there are some things that jurors don't get to see or hear, like when Overholt told the judge that Satan was speaking to him. Kelly Botelho tells us more.
It's an automatic life sentence for Keith Overholt. After 7 hours of deliberations, the 12-person jury found him guilty of first-degree murder. He stabbed 29-year-old Andrew Ainscow 37 times in November of 2020. They didn't know each other. It was an unprovoked attack on a completely innocent person. The victim's cousins, who didn't want to appear on camera, were emotional as the verdict was read out yesterday.
It's an overwhelming sense of relief and gratefulness that Overholt will never, ever do this to someone again.
He didn't know this woman either, but he decided to beat her with a large stick over the head 14 times. He stopped when Good Samaritans came out to scare him off, but the jury believes he intended to kill her too. Just like he intended to kill another random man. He swung the same knife that he used to kill Ainscow at him, but luckily witnesses saw and honked their horn before the man was injured. That man called 911.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Somebody tried to stab me.
All within a 7-hour time frame.
This was a case of random violence. These victims had no affiliation to the accused. They were randomly selected. They were either beaten, stabbed to death, or almost stabbed to death.
The jury came to their decision last night based solely on the evidence presented in court.
They were obviously very diligent. They listened very carefully to the evidence. They've come to a very unanimous verdict, a very strong verdict, guilty on all counts.
But like any trial by jury, there were things that were said and done in their absence that they did not know about, and journalists can't report on until the jury is sequestered. Like when Overholt told the judge that Satan was talking to him. For the most part, Overholt sat quietly in his prisoner's box here at Johnson-Pinka Courthouse, and he was always quiet when the jury was present. But when they left the courtroom, there were times where he spoke up and made comments to the judge, something that even the judge thought was unusual. He inquired a few times about his lunch, and on Monday, he asked for a private meeting with the judge, to which he was told no, that's not allowed. Then he threatened to fire his lawyer right before the defense's closing arguments. The judge told him that if he fired his lawyer, he would have to stand up and make closing submissions himself. Overholt decided to keep his lawyer. And yesterday morning, Overholt refused to leave his jail cell and was nonverbal. He eventually agreed to show up to his own trial, but delayed court proceedings by an hour and a half. Despite trying to delay a verdict, Overholt was convicted. A sentencing hearing will be held at a later date. Kelly Botelho, CHCH News.